Alrighty, so good evening to most. Good morning if you are on a different time zone. We are doing a retake of this as my last upload was unsuccessful. So I'm going to be speaking as if I'm in a full-time supervisor training workshop. And in this workshop, our focus is going to be on how to be a considered a strong or considered to behold the traits that um, are of one that's aspiring to be a leader. In aspiring to be a leader, a remarkable one at that, the requirements of an individual are to be able to influence with impact. Some people can influence, but in what way? Is it impactful or is it actually counterproductive? And a question to this would be, how do you influence in an impactful way? And it would be through charisma. Being charismatic makes a person have a more attractive personality that influences one to challenge their own personality to want to follow suit in the fashion that the leader presents themselves. So, in most cases, one would assume that aspiring to be a leader would mean shouldn't you just give delegation and your followers do? Not so much. Having charisma is that wedge that kind of bridges that gap between a leader's delegation and the followers wanting to take the initiative or direction, as you may want to call it, to follow suit. Um, when you have an inspiring influence, it makes it more manageable to build relationships, to champion change, which is a constant thing. Change is constant. You're going to always need to be able to face that head on, and as well as communicate strongly in the process. And being a leader is simultaneously going to be able to develop you in all those areas. It's going to allow you to influence and manage better relationships. It's going to allow you to communicate strongly, and it's going to allow you to be able to champion change when you are faced with it. um, Another thing to keep in mind for a person that is aspiring to be a leader within their environment is you want to assess the environment itself that you're in and make sure that your values that you have internally align with that environment in which you're surrounded. If they don't, then you're not going to necessarily be able to live out the fullest potential of being a leader that you'd like to be, because you're going to be hindering yourself with the confliction of your values are and what the actual values of the organization, the environment, or the group that you're leading. You want to be sure that the umbrella in which you're surrounded falls in alignment with what you believe. Um, in assessing this, I would say, in my opinion, that it would take one to have expertise in knowing that they one have something that is credible, worthy of being taught, and two, that they have the integrity worthy of teaching it. There's a bunch of times where power it begets most, and some can become irresponsible with it and just delegate recklessly, or dictate or micromanage recklessly. You need to be able to build that trust within the team that you have. And once they trust that you're not going to micromanage the work that you expect from them, they'll be able to not only follow your lead, but lead themselves um, in the process without with minimum interaction or engagement or interruption from you as the leader. Being a leader requires one to be humble and knowing that though you have something that is worthy of being taught, you still know that there's always opportunity to learn. When your followers or your subordinates see this and they know that you're always open to new challenges, new growth, new knowledge, they themselves remain receptive of anything that is going to make them become a better employee, a better follower, a better person in general. And this is embody what it means to be able to be a leader that has an influential impact.